Okay, so this is the pre-K classroom for our group project in ER 402 with Dr. Humphreys. So as you can see, this is the layout of the classroom that my group put together. Down here at the bottom where I'm at, of course, that's the door where you'll enter the classroom. And straight ahead here you have our cubbies, and that will be where the students will put their backpack, their lunchbox, all their personal items. And that's especially important, as we brought up in the narrative part of the project, that's promoting like student privacy. So everything that they own and that they come to school with will be in their cubbies, snack, anything like that. As you can see in front of it, we have our writing center. So this will consist of paper, pencils, markers, dabbers, like the paint dabbers, anything that's also hands-on that gets them involved in writing. So some paper that has the lines of how to correctly do handwriting of letters, tracing letters, tracing words, especially sight words, high-frequency words, expo markers they can use to trace, like you can laminate the papers and they can, trace over those papers with expo and then it will erase. Just different things to build their writing skills, their literacy skills. Down here at the bottom by the door when you come in, we have our block center. And of course, blocks promotes just them using their creativity and their imagination to build whatever they want to. And it also can be dealing with math too, like geometry, because I know the block center that we have at my job, it's P3, so there are some 3D shapes and different shapes that typically kids aren't around as much. So they use those to build houses and castles, like maybe some cone and some spheres. They use them as planks, the regular rectangular blocks as planks, and have the ball dropping. They use it for anything. The kitchen and dramatic play center, this of course, play is a very important part of pre-K and even kindergarten. It's promoting play, just them using their imagination, building social and emotional skills with each other, communication skills, teamwork, problem-solving skills. We had the kids come across a problem the other day at work with in the kitchen, the sink. They were using their imagination saying the sink was messed up. Well, one of them decides to go and dress up as a plumber, even though they weren't really a plumber. They were actually dressed up as a vet, but they used that shirt of the veterinarian to be a plumber to fix the sink. So they were completely using their imagination and going with it, and we just sat back and watched them. So it was nice to see that. But that developmentally, they're using their imagination and just building upon those skills that they have and what they learn every day and what they learn from each other too, based on what they talk about while they're at that center. Here we have our science center. We, from what I've seen, the science center used is kind of like what your theme is during that season. I know we've used our science center as a, typically, especially with September, we used it as apples. And so we had yellow apples, green apples, red apples cut. You had the plastic ones they could half up. We had facts about apple trees. We had hands-on manipulatives that had to do with apples. We just had different things that were an interest of them, that engaged them, but they were also learning as well. And that you can use that for many different things. We've done it even during October. We did a pumpkin. That's where our pumpkin, like lessons about a pumpkin and the seeds and the sprout and all of the facts about pumpkins, we use that in our science center during October. During winter time, we will change it and it will be snowflakes, how snowflakes are formed. It'll talk about rain. It'll talk about snow. We'll go over the whole life cycle of that stuff. And we even put cotton balls in a box and make it kind of like snowballs in a way. And so stuff like that is what you include in that center based on whatever theme you want to go with, and to interest them and have them engaged in learning. Right here we have our art center. So this is colored pencils, crayons, paint. We use the watercolored paint, more paint dabbers, stamps, scissors, glue. We even use scrap pieces of paper throughout the day that the kids use and cut off of their regular papers. They put them in a bin in the art center, and that's just their scrap paper that they can use at the art center if they want it. The toilet paper rolls, when we finish up a roll of toilet paper in the bathroom, we put that roll in the tube too, because they can decorate it and they can use it at the art center as well. And it's similar to kitchen and dramatic play. They're using their imagination. They're creating something on their own and building upon their own skills and bettering themselves every day. Like, they're improving their cutting, they improve their gluing, pasting, just different things. They've even made, when we did a lesson on patterns with math, one kid was cutting out shapes and gluing them on a piece of paper and making a pattern during art center. They weren't really creating something, like drawing a house or something to give to their mom. They were creating something based on what they had learned that week at school. So that's always nice to see too, is they can show you that they have learned something. So right here we have our reading corner and our nook, like book nook, I guess. This is a cozy area. This would be a inviting rug, maybe some flexible seating for the kids, maybe some bean bags, some even book buddies. I've seen teachers use book buddies, like just different stuffed animals that are book characters, and the kids can use those to like cuddle up with them as they read a book. You can make this as inviting as you wanted to, as long as, even like with health stuff, some teachers talk about, they don't want rugs and different things in their classroom because of lice and different things like that. But you also need to have rugs and stuff in there to make it comfortable and cozy for your students. So I would plan on using a rug and some bean bags, maybe 2 or 3 small bean bags, some of those little round foam fabric cedar things that kids just sit on, like a placemat in a way. Even different things like that you could use in the reading corner to make it inviting for students. And of course the book buddies. I think the book buddies are a really good idea to have them engaged, wanting to hold that stuffed animal, but also to read too. It makes it fun for them. Right here by the reading nook, we have the classroom library, and of course this is based upon their reading level. So all the books will be sorted in between their reading level, and also based on what the books are about. So Halloween books, Christmas books, books about sadness, books about being happy, books about friendship, books about grief, diversity, inclusion. Different things will have them organized and set up that way. That's at eye level, of course, with the children, that they can see that the books are separated and organized to however they want to read them. And you have the rug right there as well. And that's the rug where like whole group stuff happens. So, because that's kind of the front of the classroom in a way. So our whole group time can happen there as well. And our whole group time, that's where the majority of your teaching happens. The classroom that I work in, we do reading at the rug, which is our Hegarty time. Our open court reading program, we do it at the rug as a whole group. During math, we have them at the rug. And we do interactive smartboard lessons where the kids come up and drag the numbers to match, counting. Different things with math. We do all of the whole group things at the rug on the smartboard. Over here we have our small group table. So this is like building upon, this is where I would be pulling kids and those that need extra help, when you're testing and doing your assessments, your CBMs, your, right now we're doing ESGI testing, those different platforms that you have to do for your assessments. I would pull those kids back there and get all of the testing done. And this is also where we would do our decodables to help them, read our decodable sections. You have those small, thin paper books that have simple sight words and things on them. We use those. I would use those at the small group table as well, to build upon their vocabulary skills and all that stuff. Here you have our classroom tables. This is where the kids would sit four at a table. Our information station, this would get changed daily. This is going to be like the calendar, which we'll go over. Like, that's kind of our morning meeting area, days of the week type stuff, how many days we've been in school, our lunch menu, just the school calendar for the month. Smartboard, of course, everything goes on there with the smartboard. And also the smartboard can be used during free center time too. We pull up ABC, y'all, and that's like a website with fun interactive games that the students learn and stuff. And there's also fun, like, non-academic games on that website as well. But we pull up ABC, y'all, on the smartboard, and we also include that as a free center at the end of the day, just like the block center, the play center, science center, art center. We use the smartboard as a center as well for the kids. And then our whiteboard, of course, this would be full of any extra things that I need to write down for the day, or just different things throughout the day. That's not really anything, that's not really a center for the kids. That's just kind of part of what I would do as a teacher to help me stay organized and responsible. There's my desk up here in the front corner. It's overlooking everything. Like, I would be able to see everything going on in the room. All of my storage is behind me, all of the supplies, a sink. I have a trash can right here and a trash can over here by the door. I don't have it labeled on here, but the affirmation station that we talked about in the narrative. The affirmation station will consist of a mirror placed somewhere in the room, a full body length mirror. It'll be decorated, it'll be very colorful, and it will have things around it pasted like I'm loved, I'm smart, I'm worthy, I'm kind, I am special, I'm strong. Different affirmations that build upon students' self-esteem. So anytime that they are having a tough time with an assignment, or if they're just having a tough time emotionally and they can't control their emotions, I would suggest them to go to the affirmation station and spend some time there looking at themselves in the mirror and saying those affirmations to themselves. And even I could go over there and read them to build upon their self-esteem. And also, in the reading corner in the nook, I would even add a calming station, especially for those kids that are on the spectrum, or you have those extra overstimulated kids that just need extra help calming themselves down, or when they get overstimulated, just to help them better control their emotions and to help them to feel safe and comfortable in the classroom. We have different little gel pads in the classroom, and just different sensory. We have a sensory bin, and so I would include that in the reading corner, since that's a cozy area. That could also be the calming area too as well. So I have explained everything in the classroom, I believe, that I would have. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to the rest of this class.